One afternoon, a man was wandering through a fairground, and he happened to see a fortune-teller's tent. Thinking it would be good for a laugh, the man went inside and sat down. "Ah," said the woman as she gazed into the crystal ball, "I see you are the father of 2 children." "That's what you think," said the man scornfully. "I'm the father of 3 children." The mysterious psychic grinned and said, "That's what you think."
A writer sat in a Paris cafe one afternoon, revising his manuscript when the waitress approached. He said, a cup of coffee, please, he said to her, no cream. "Oh, I'm sorry, monsieur," said the waitress, "but we're out of cream today. Would you like your coffee with no milk instead?"
Did you hear about the psychic midget who escaped from jail?
Psychic midget who escaped from jail.
The headlines in the newspaper read, "Small, medium, at large."
That's ridiculous.
I like that one.
In our search for material, we came upon metaphysical data that has a great number of ideas in it that, in light of today's events and the 2012 background, we thought we'd explore into it a little bit and see what we could develop out of it. We've had the opportunity of inviting for interview an international known medium, she claims herself. She's got about 500,000 hits on her videos on YouTube.
Various videos.
And the ideas that she's presenting are kind of interesting. It's a different perspective from what a lot of us have. We've also investigated Dolores Cannon, who is a regressive hypnotist. And she has been doing this for 40 years, and she's got some very interesting results, which she's reported in her many books. I think she's got 15 books out on various subjects that she got from interviewing people under deep regressive hypnosis. My wife Patty is investigating the Sylvia Browne series, and she's got a dozen or so books out, also talking about metaphysics and what we're talking about. We want to reach into it and address the ideas that are encompassed in here. Be at peace with yourself, particularly when things are exploding, and appreciate what you've got, and balance out your aggravation and health and accomplishments and service and meditation and all of these things we'd like to explore a little bit over the next few weeks and see if we can help ourselves as well as share with our people. You got another story there too?
Oh, I'm sure I do.
That needs funny to follow that up.
Okay. Why did the Buddhist refuse anesthesia when having his wisdom teeth removed?
A Buddhist refused anesthesia when having a wisdom tooth removed.
Yes, very painful, right?
Very painful. Okay, why?
He wanted to transcend dental medication. That was about as corny as well.
That's reaching way out there in left field. But you gave me a list here I thought was pretty cute. Yeah. Oxymorons. Now, an oxymoron is a how would you say
one word cancels out the other one.
a zero word, if you will. And the boss says, "Here's that new paid volunteer." And he says, "Isn't that an oxymoron?" And he says, "Well, call me a moron again and you're fired." But virtual reality.
If it's virtual, how can it be real?
Original copy.
There you go again.
Old news. Act naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Pretty ugly. And living dead.
I hate
sure.
zombies.
But jumbo shrimp. Now that is not an oxymoron because a jumbo shrimp. I've seen one that was big as a banana, and boy, he was neat.
Yeah.
And a rolling stop.
Yeah.
I gotta admit that I will argue with the cops about that one because there wasn't anybody there. I didn't hit anything.
2 minutes. Yeah.
And Civil War. Yeah.
How
of course. How can war be civil?
Yeah.
But
here, I got a little brief history of medicine I want to share that's quite amusing.
All right.
Like a little timeline. It goes in 2000 BC. They said, here, eat this root. In 1000 AD, they said, that root is heathen. Here, say this prayer. 1850 AD, that prayer is superstition. Here, drink this potion. 1940 AD, that potion is snake oil. Here, take a pill. In 1985 AD, that pill's ineffective. Here, take this antibiotic. 2000 AD, that antibiotic doesn't work anymore. Here, eat this root.
Oh, everything that goes around comes around.
Oh, yeah. The old ways are better, I think.
Okay, now the only person in my family who believed in reincarnation was my Uncle Norman. Uncle Norman would tell us this story. He said, I remember one lifetime when I was a frog. A beautiful, beautiful woman came by. She kissed me and I turned into a handsome prince, and I'll tell you, women always want to change you. In summary today, we told some amusing but interesting stories. We talked about the lack of transparency in the healthcare business. Yeah, I consider the medical profession as big business, just like the communication business, only with the bigger secrets. If you don't like it, we encourage you to charge into the future. Change the system, make it fit your expectations and needs. And so what if the guy next door changes or uses your works differently? You made an effort. And now, we want to thank you for listening to our podcast today. This program is archived at Blog Talk Radio, captured and archived for YouTube video, and linked to our Facebook. Now, see us and hear us too. Comments are welcome. Our mission on these Blog Talk Radio presentations is to stimulate your thinking, prod your mind into new channels,
Pump up your interest in life, rebuild your enthusiasm.
Whether you're pro or con, we insist that you join us as we investigate,
evaluate,
and participate. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. We want to thank you for listening to our podcast. We will return with our continuing viewpoints next Tuesday at 2 p.m., June 20th.
That's today.
That's today. Next week. Our changing times and some new stuff. I'm Steve.
I'm Teresa.
Thank you for listening. Think positive.
Be positive.
Live positive.
Enjoy.
And goodbye.
See ya.
This show was brought to you by Gigi Blankies since 2011. Musings with Steve and Teresa are a Blog Talk weekly feature talking about different changing times and how it applies to you. For a complete selection of Gigi Blankies, please call Teresa at 740-727-1684. Thank you for listening.